Season's greetings. It's that time of year again. The time of year when you are going to get a lot of calls from people asking you to make charitable donations. Did you know that almost a third of all charitable donations in America come in between Thanksgiving and New Year's? It's this end of year giving that keeps the charities going. And so it's very important to them to receive the maximum amount of donations that they can during this time period. But there are a lot of scams out there. There are thieves that know that you are being bombarded with requests and that you're feeling generous and that they might be able to get some money off of you without you realizing that they are not who they say they are. So I have 5 tips to help you make sure that your money is going where you think that it's going to help the charities that you want to benefit. My name is Laura Hurd, and I'm an attorney in San Antonio, Texas, who's been practicing law here since 1987. And my first tip for you is to take your time. Don't be rushed by somebody who calls you on the phone and says, I need this money right now, I have to have credit for it today, or something like that. If they're a legitimate organization, it's not going to hurt for them to wait a day or two for you to do your research and think it over. And you want to call them back or go onto their website to make the donation rather than trusting that the person who calls you is actually representing the organization that they say that they're representing. It could be anybody calling you on the phone. So you want to make sure that you are donating to the actual organization that they say that they're representing by you contacting them back later. Number 2, do your research online. Go online to the organizations who rate these kinds of charities. There are a number of them. You can find Charity Watch, Charity Navigator, GuideStar, Better Business Bureau. These companies go to a lot of work to get the information for financial responsibility for all these charities. And if the one that you're thinking of donating to is not listed at all there, then you maybe want to take a step back and think, why is it that they are not even known by these organizations? Because they have a lot of organizations that they have already researched. Secondly, go to your favorite website, search engine, like Google, and look up the name of that organization along with some keywords like scam, fraud, financial abuse, complaints or reviews. See what other people have said. See if there's any news articles about financial abuse or mishandling of funds in that organization. It's important that you do that little bit of research. It doesn't take that long to go online and see if the organization that you're going to give your money to is actually going to use that money for the purpose that they say they're going to use it for, rather than just to line somebody's pockets, or that all the money that they spend on fundraising just goes to the fundraisers and not actually to the people that you're trying to benefit. Next, go to the IRS.gov website. This is tip number 3. IRS.gov, not IRS.com. IRS.gov is the website for the IRS, and they have a search bar for nonprofit organizations that are 501c3 organizations. And that means that the IRS has reviewed an application and determined that this is an organization that you can get a tax deduction for giving to. So they have to meet certain qualifications of the purpose of the organization and the structure of the organization. They have to actually have a board of directors and not just one person who's claiming to be this charity. And so not all charities are tax deductible. If it's not a 501c3, you can't claim it as a tax deduction. But even if you aren't going to claim it as a tax deduction because you don't itemize, you just take the standard deduction, still, the fact that they are a 501c3 lends to the idea that they have some legitimacy, because every legitimate charity is going to want to get that designation so that they can encourage large donations from people who do itemize. And so 501c3 refers to the section of the IRS code that allows for tax deductions for charitable or nonprofits. And if you have done those three things, you've taken your time, you've found out where you can make the donation directly to the organization. Number two, you've gone online and checked out their financial responsibility and checked to make sure they're not a scam. And number three, you've checked to see if they are 501c3 with the IRS. Then number four is make sure that you pay by credit card. Don't give them a check or cash, because once the check has cleared the bank, the money's gone. You're not going to get it back if you find out later that it's a scam or somebody's just taking your money and spending it on themselves. You can sometimes reverse a credit card transaction that turns out to be a scam by calling your credit card company, but you can't reverse a check that's already cleared the bank. So pay by credit card. And number five, make sure that when you pay, that you do it in a secure way. There are a number of ways where even if you're giving to a legitimate organization, that the hackers could intervene and take your financial information, your credit card information, and engage in identity theft. And it has nothing to do with the organization itself. The organization you were donating to is a fine, upstanding, reputable organization, but the hackers have taken your information while you were trying to make that donation. And one way to avoid that is to make sure that the URL, the name that you put into the search engine to get that website, starts with HTTPS. Not just HTTP, but HTTPS. The S indicates it's secure, that it's encrypted, and that it's going to be harder for hackers to get into that website to get that information out that you put in. Secondly, make sure that you are not on public Wi-Fi, because if you're at, some coffee bar and using the public Wi-Fi that's not secure, the hackers can intervene in the air and get that information from you before it ever even gets to the website. So no matter how secure the website is, no matter how legitimate the organization is, if you are using public Wi-Fi that's not secure, then the hackers can still get your credit card information and then engage in identity theft. So be very careful there. The Lord loves a cheerful giver, and it is important to give generously, but give wisely. My name is Laura Hurd. I'm an attorney in San Antonio, Texas. And if you have questions about this, be sure and give me a call. And if you would like help with your will or trust or end-of-life planning, I am the person to call for that as well. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. That helps me to give you notification when I make new videos. Also helps Google to know, or YouTube to know, that I'm doing a good job. And so like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.